Okay, Eugene and Rian, welcome to your new operating system, which is called MX23, codename Libretto. I've installed it on your HP Pavilion G6, and all the data that you had on your previous operating system, Deepin 1511, is stored on the local machine. Let me show you where and give you a little tour. Actually, this is the file finder where you have your different elements, the same as on the other operating system. You have the documents, you have music, you have Abbildungen, videos, and downloads. Now, all the information that was on the old computer or your old operating system sits within this folder. So if you want to look at your downloads or your music, you can do so by opening it here, or I would recommend that you pull over the information, let's say music, from here to over there. Let me just give you one example. If I want to take these three first folders from the backup music folder from the old operating system, and you want to put them into the music on this operating system, you would just drag and drop it into Musik, and you see those three folders are now part of the music folder on the local system, and you just need to do the same with all the other ones. I've got a backup just in case anything should happen. Don't worry, you can't break anything. So let me give you a tour, a bit of a tour. You start and stop the machine, of course, by pushing the button. The password, the machine starts up without you providing a password, but in case you are asked for a password, it is the username is user, and the password for user is the word user, all in lowercase. In case you have asked for the root password, the root password is root, so ROOT, all in lowercase. On the screen itself, you have got here information about the operating system, so you can go through it and read a bit about the operating system. However, there's a lot of information also on the internet, on YouTube, that you could watch. I have installed Anywhere, or AnyDesk rather, which you can, if it's not visible here, let me just do away with it, Slut alle, so I'm closing it. And to call it up, you just go to the start button here, and you would type Any, and you see it appears here. To launch AnyDesk, you just start it. This is your like the phone number or the number of your AnyDesk system, and if you want to connect to an outside system, you would take up communication via phone with the other person, and that person would give you their number, not the phone number but the AnyDesk code number, and you would have to accept then the incoming connection. That's something we can test and via the internet. So as I said, to switch on the machine, you use your on-off button, and to turn off the operating system once you're done with it, you click on the top left, the green button, and there you have Starten or Afsluiten. I'm not going to do that. I just say Abbrechen. On the left here, that's the loudspeaker. AnyDesk is installed, so I'm turning it off here. And here you have got the clipboard. This is now the camera running with which I do this screen recording. The language, the keyboard language is US, and it corresponds to the keyboard on your HP Pavilion G6. So when you push the question mark on the keyboard, the question mark should appear also in a document. This is to eject, to unmount a USB disk. So let me show you. I'll mount a USB disk. There's nothing here, and I will put in the USB now. Just a second, and it should appear then. It should appear. You see, this is the USB that I stuck in on the USB port. These are the information or the files on the USB. When you're all done with working with the external hard disk or USB or whatever, don't just pull out the USB stick, but unmount it properly by clicking on this button. And then it says on the top right, you can now safely take the USB out, which I've been doing. This is the battery, and it's completely charged now. An important one is this one. Actually, it shows you if there are any updates available. If this turns green, that means there are updates available, and you would just click on it. You supply the password, which is user. Owner. I'm sorry, owner. Oh God, I mistyped that. I wrote user. User, no. The it's owner, and not user. So if you want to install something, you would pick it out here and then install it. That's something we can do. I can show you together. So I have to change that, and then it doesn't say user, but rather owner. Then if you want to install a game, for instance, let me just show you an example. You would go to the bottom here, start button, and you go to MX Packet Installera, password owner and not user. So owner, and authenticate. And then in a few moments this comes up, and let's say if you want to install something, so let me say simple card games, you would just pick it up like that, you select it and you go to installier, and it will install it. It takes a bit of time, of course, to download it from the internet and to install it. I'll let that run in the background, and the important thing here is once you're at home, to connect to your Wi-Fi, you click on this and then you see the different Wi-Fis that you have at home, and of course you need to select the name of your Wi-Fi and enter the password, and that's it. So that's this button here, or this icon here. So the game, it says, do you want to install it? Yes. So I click on OK. It's reading the information, simple card games. It's installing it now, and you see in real time that it doesn't take too long to install. So let me just run. Okay, it says successful beendigt. Okay, and remember, it's simple card games. To look for it, okay, obviously you would go to my Dutch is not that good, but spelletjes, yeah. So simple card games. If we go down here, do we have card games? Or if I type here simple screen recorder, simple card games. So I'm not familiar with this yet. Card games. But anyways, this is how you would go about finding it. Let's not waste too much time with this. Let's go back to spelletjes, and maybe it's patience or whatever it is. To uninstall a game, so the game we just installed that I can't find, you would do the same way. And here you see this turned green now. That means there's an update available. One new update beschikbaar. click on it once, and then opvaring, password being owner, authenticate. Do you want to continue? Just hit yes, and it's downloading some stuff now. It's done. You see, druk toets om te sluiten, and so when I do that, this will now turn black again, so that means there's no updates available. So back to the start button here. You've got Afbildungen, Hulpmiddelen, Instellingen, Internet. I installed Brave, the Brave web browser that you had on the other machine as well, or the other operating system, Cantor. LibreOffice, I changed it to Dutch. Let me just launch it, the writer. LibreOffice. And there you see, you have all the information. Of course, if you want to go then to one of your documents, you would say Bestand, Openen, and right now everything still in the Downloads folder. Remember, I've not moved it yet. I leave that up to you, so I would say in Documents, let's say Bucket List Docs, and it will open it, and there you are. Okay. To close it, you say Bestand, oder LibreOffice afsluiten. Okay, so back to the start here. We were at Canto. You have all of the Office, which is Draw, Calc, Base, Impress, and the Office Writer, the PDF Arranger, and so on. Multimedia, you have to play music, you have VLC Media Player. So if I launch the VLC Media Player and we go to Music, we click on Media, Bestand Openen, and I would say Musik. Remember, we copied 3 folders over, so if we go to the first one, and let's take the first one, you just click on it and you say Open, and then it will start playing. So that's the same VLC as you also had on the previous operating system. Now, MX multimedia, burn, that's if you want to do a DVD or a CD. That's something, if you need to do that, we can find out together how to do that. MX Tools, you have all kinds of information here about MX Linux. That's the information on the operating system. It gives you all the information. Can give you a quick system report and so on. Entwicklung, Genie Eigenbrau, that's something that even I don't use myself. Spelletjes, all kinds of different games. And we are going to uninstall the simple card games in a minute. System, HTOP, they G-parted, that's something that shows you how much information is used, and that's something I just want to show you briefly. Just type the password owner again. So on your machine now, the hard disk has got roughly 56 gigabytes, and we're using this much so far, 36. So a bit over half the space of the hard disk is used. Okay, and what else do we have? The terminal fencer is something you don't really need to use. I can show you or explain that to you if you like. And the Conky, this is the Conky. It shows the time. There's plenty of different Conkies, applets that can be installed or opened or closed. Now back to deinstalling then the simple card games. Remember, Paket installieren, password owner, and it was called simple card games. And to deinstall it, this means it's installed. To deinstall it, just click on here and you say deinstallieren. Yeah, do you want to do that? Okay, so it's taking that card game out again. Process successful, beendigt. Okay, and that's pretty much it already. The time is adjusted, 5:15 on the 26th of August, Saturday. So 64% of your hard disk is used. That's what we saw earlier on. 39% of the memory is used. That changes with the more programs you're running, then the memory will decrease. Only 40% are used at this point, and the CPU, that's the engine running at 20%, so it's 1/5. You could add, you could start more programs and have them run at the same time. Yeah, let me just, I want to install the background that you had. Büroblatt Einstellungen. Let me see if I can do that. Backgrounds. Now, where do we have backgrounds? In the downloads folder. Let me see. In the downloads folder. If we go here, in the downloads folder, the backgrounds from the other one. So we right click and then we say Stellinals Büroblatt background. There you are. So you have the same background as you had on the other, on the Deepin 15.11 desktop. And that's it already. Of course, if you have any questions, I gladly answer them. Just drop me a note via WhatsApp. And the easiest way then is to connect via AnyDesk. So AnyDesk, as I showed you earlier on. I'll show you how it looks like. So let's say you want, or let's say I'll try to log into your machine now from another computer. I start that AnyDesk on my computer here. And so your name there is 391. Diese Workplatz 391 751 242. And okay. Oh, it says it's not connected, but in any case, if I were able to log into your machine, you would see on the bottom of your screen, you would see an indication that somebody's trying to log into your machine. Do you want to accept it? And then you would say yes, and I would see, or your screen would be reflected on my computer locally, and then we could interact and I could explain or help you with things. Okay, so let's stop the recording. Simple screen recorder. Aufnahmen pausieren.